Hi everybody, thanks for pressing play on the video today. It's Caroline here from craftycarolinecreates.blogspot.co.uk. Today I have for you this quite large gift box actually, which I'm going to call a picnic basket style gift box purely because it opens up on both sides. Can you see that? Two little flaps that open up. This is actually quite huge. It is 4 inches by 7, I think, by 7 by 2 inches deep. So you really could get an awful lot in there. This one I've decorated using my favourite DSP of the moment. This is the Bohemian, and this is Bermuda Bay and Rich Raspberry for the box itself. Let's get started and I will show you just how to make it. I'm going to start with 2 pieces of cardstock. You need one that is going to be your base and one that is going to be your lid. The base, in this case, I'm using Pacific Point, and that measures 10 and 15/16 of an inch by 7 and 15/16. The lid, we're using mint macaron today, and that is just a tiny bit bigger. This is 11 by 8. Okay, so if we start by scoring the Pacific Point piece, and we're very simply going to score this at 2 inches on all 4 sides. Just let me come around to the other side of the tripod and I can get in a bit better to do that. So that's 2 inches, rotate it 90 degrees and then score it again down 2 inches. Okay. And last one at 2 inches. Okay. Bring in the mint macaron piece, which is the lid piece, and this one we are going to score it firstly with the long side along the top, and we're going to score this at 5 inches and then it's 6 inches. Okay, and then what we are going to do is we are going to score it at 7/8 of an inch and then at 2 inches, and then we're going to turn it 90 degrees and do exactly the same. So 7/8 and 2 inches, turn it again, and we're going to do it at 7/8 of an inch and 2 inches, and then the final time at 7/8 of an inch and at 2 inches. Okay, so there's quite a lot of scoring on there. Okay, lastly, what I have here is a little piece of Pacific Point. This is going to make a handle. This is 1 inch by 10 inches, and what I want to do is, just while I have it out, I've just got my marker and I'm just going to put a little dot approximately 1/2 inch across and 1/2 inch down. Flip it round and do exactly the same on this side, so 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch about there. Okay, and that is just going to help us when we punch our holes for our handle. We are finished with our scoreboard, so we will put that away. And we will start building up our lid first, because this is the more complicated piece. So we will start by scoring and burnishing all of those score lines. Now there are quite a lot of them, so I might speed the video up a little bit at this point if I can get the technology to work so you can see it a little bit faster. So I will stop talking now. Okay, that's all my scoring done. Now for our cutting, we're going to work on each corner in turn. And what we need to do is we need to cut up the score lines this way and then this way. Okay, so we're cutting over 1, 2 lines in the other direction. Can you see that? Then we're going to cut off completely the end piece, and then we are going to cut off that bit there. Okay, so what we've left with is we cut sort of an L shape off and we're left with a little flap. So we're going to do that on all 4 sides, so I'll just show you again. So it's all the way up here and all the way up there. Cut off the edge bit and then trim off just the edge there. Okay, we will do it again. It's up and up. Cut off this bit here and cut off that bit there. Okay, And the final one here, so get one last chance to see it. Up that one, up this one, and then we are going to cut that and cut that. Okay, leave all those little pieces out of the way. Now what we are going to do is quite a bit of notching. So for each of these little tabs that we've just made, we are going to notch those out. And then this end flap that you're left with here, we're also going to notch the edge of that on either side. And all this will do is just really help us when we fold it up. Okay, so notch out those edges and those edges, and also notch out our flaps on the edge. You're just going to do that all the way around. It's quite a bit of notching. Okay, and our last one here and here. Okay, take away all that scrap notching. So this is basically what you are then left with when you have done all that work there. Okay, now we are going to build up our box, and we're going to use some fuse to do that. So we are going to start with a little piece of fuse on each of these flaps that we have just made. Okay. And then we want to, that was the underside of these flaps, and then the top part of these edge flaps, we also want to put a piece of fuse all the way along. Okay, and our last piece here. Okay, now to build up your box, firstly we're going to lift up these sides and attach on our tabs. Okay, so just fold this tab up just as you do with a very standard box. Okay, and then we are going to just fold over these edge pieces to sort of reinforce it. If you've made a reinforced box before, you will know exactly what I mean and what we have done there. Okay, just going to bring the bone folder back in and just use that to really push down those sides. Make sure that they are well and truly stuck down. Okay, we'll just put that to one side for a moment while we build up our base. So we are just going to fold and burnish those 4 score lines we made on our base, and then this is just going to build up as a very, very simple box does. Okay, going to bring in my scissors, and we're just going to cut up these score lines here and notch those out as we go round. Okay, and the same on this side. Notch up and notch those out. Okay, and then again we're just going to use fuse to very quickly build this up. So I'm just putting fuse on each of those flaps. I think I've just about got fuse now. I'll say that and it will all go horribly wrong, but just needs a little bit of practice, and that flick away really is the trick. Okay, and then we're just going to fold this up like this. This one and our last one there. Okay, and what that means is hopefully this is the moment of truth. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking with box building, is that lid should then fit very neatly on top of our base, which it does. Phew, we can breathe a sigh of relief. Okay, next thing we're going to do is stick on our decorative pieces. This one I made using this gorgeous pattern which I'm in love with from Bohemian. This one, can you see how beautiful these are? It's lovely, lots and lots of little butterflies. This is from one of our DSP stacks. I put the link to what it's called on the screen because it is completely what's the word? I can't think, but I can't think of the word at the moment. Evading me, that's it. So I'll also put the sizes of these on my blog as well. So we are just going to use, you can use snail for this, but I just haven't got it out. So I'm just going to use some fuse on the back of each of these. Oh, I said said I got fuse and then I go and ruin it. Oh, what a mess. I'm sticking to myself. Use snail for this bit, it's a lot easier. Oh, all a fluster. Right. And obviously 2 of the primary colours in among those butterflies are Mint Macaron and Pacific Pine, which is where I actually got the idea from for the colour combination for the box, was from this DSP. So I'm just going to stick those down. So you can see we've got a small strip that just goes across the middle there. And then we have 2 pieces for either end. Just trying to line that up. Oh, and our last piece goes on there. It's just easier to do this at this point, or even before you fold up the box, actually, in terms of getting that DSP up. Can you see how beautiful that is? I really love that. Now we are going to continue making our box up. So can you see on the side of our box here, I'm not sure if you can, I think the camera's picking out there, we've got 2 score lines that we did there. We are just going to trim up those lines to the top. So we're just making a flap on the edge there. You can do exactly the same on this side. So trim up those to the top of your box. Now we purposely didn't fold and burnish this score line again, but you can see how that will fold up nicely. Okay, this is then how it is going to go on, is those flaps are actually going to go inside of our box. This gets a little bit fiddly at this point, but do bear with it because it is worth it. And then our handle will go over the top like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is use my handheld punch, which has just escaped off here, to punch through that hole there. 1 and 2. Okay, and then all you want to do is align that onto your box here, where that is going to go. Bring back in your marker and just carefully put a dot there. Ooh. And while you're holding that one in place, bring it round, and again a little dot. Oh. Do that again. Actually, it may be easier to do one side at a time, you know. I think we'll do it like that. So let's do one side there, and then flip out your box so your tab comes out, and punch this hole through first. So again, just with your handheld punch. We're going to do one side at a time is probably the best way to do it. Then you can see through that hole to where your lid is, so push that through there. And we can take that off and we can punch that out there. Okay, and what should then happen is that when you build that up, all 3 of those holes will align nicely. That go around the other way there, that goes around that way. Okay, so then you can bring out a brad. So I've just got my little pot of brads here, and we're going to push that through all 3 of those holes. Just check I've got the right side. Yep. So it does get a little bit fiddly, as I said. So if you just do the first 2 first, oh, I kind of need an extra pair of hands. That would help, wouldn't it? With a lot of crafting, I think. If you flip up the lid there, make sure that is pushed right on, and these should then go through all 3 holes that it has, and you can just flatten out your brad inside your box. Okay, so that's one side done. Now if we close it up here, we can bring round our strap, and we're just going to do exactly the same again. So that's a dot there, which we will punch through. This is the 1/16 hole punch. And then finally line up our last piece, and again push that through. Oh. Just holding that in place there. Push that through with your pen, pull it out, and you can push that hole through by now. Okay. And then we can do our final build. With another of our brads. Here we go. Is that going through all three? Yep, through all three, and then fold it over inside. Okay. Probably made that look a little bit more complicated than it was. Oh, and this side I've done wrong, haven't I? Let's do this bit again. So we want the mint macaron to go inside, and then our Pacific point over the top. Okay, and our last piece is then going through this hole here. There we go. Okay, and fold that out inside. Okay, perfect. And there we go. I did make that look a lot more complicated than it was. It really is quite straightforward. I'm going to finish it up with some candy dots. I'm going to use Pacific Point on each of these because mint macaron is an ink colour, so we don't actually have any mint macaron candy dots, but it would be nice actually if we did. Stampin' Up, if you're listening, mint macaron candy dots would be a very nice addition, please. Okay, there we go. And I've also, for this one, made a little bow using the bow builder punch, and I was just going to stick that on the handle like that. What do you think? Let's give it a try. A little bit of Tombow to do this, I think. Okay, so stick that bow just on there like that. Give that a hold for a second. We'll tidy up while I'm doing that. And there you can see two really quite, what I think are quite nice double flip picnic style baskets. Hope you enjoyed that. I hope you give it a try. If you have any questions or would like to buy any Stampin' Up products, please don't hesitate to get in touch. See you later. Bye bye.